Hello students, in our last lecture we had discussed how to do the calculations for the normal mode of vibrational analysis using your 3n system and the Cartesian coordinate system. We are going to discuss the internal coordinate system, but first let's discuss theoretically what all steps we should follow for the normal mode of analysis. This is your group theoretical analysis with which we will shift further to the decomposing the reducible representations. So according to the group theoretical analysis of vibrations, it follows a particular sequence of steps. The first is the geometry of the given molecule has to be assessed correctly. So this is what the point group which I discussed with you, the point group should be known to you and it should be correct. So its order and number of classes is also found. That can be found through character table, or the way you are calculating the point group, you generally get the order and the number. Then the total number and the symmetry of the Cartesian coordinates is determined, which I already taught you how to determine that. Then translational and rotational representations are subtracted from the total representation to obtain the vibrational modes. So if we have to calculate the vibrational modes, I have to take the 3n minus the translational mode and minus the rotational modes. This is the rotational, they are not rotational. Then the internal coordinates are classified, defined into some sets, and their individual symmetry is determined. Okay, the spurious modes are recognized and eliminated. This all we are going to learn now further, which generally occur in internal coordinates, and their place in new coordinates are defined. So this happens when we do the calculation using internal coordinate system. Generally with normal coordinate system, Cartesian coordinate system, these spurious modes doesn't arise at all. Then IR and Raman spectral activity of all the vibrational modes so obtained is determined, and the normal mode of vibration based on the skeletal framework of the molecule are written and represented as per their symmetry. So these are the basic things which I have told you. Now they are point wise being jotted down. This is in the same book I have shared with you in the group classroom, so you can go through that. I think this is page number 257 in that book. So now let's discuss how to do this decomposition of standard reduction formula or decomposing the reducible formula. So what happens, how to do it is, a reducible representation is represented by the basis set and then decomposed into its irreducible representations. Okay, so the formula which I am going to write and tell you here is, you can just see, that is AI is equals to 1 upon H summation of R G reducible, chi I reducible, and chi reducible. So this is chi irreducible and then reducible, I think. Yes. So this is G R reducible, chi irreducible, and then chi reducible representation. So let me write it again for you. 1 upon H summation of G reducible, chi irreducible representation, and reducible representation. Okay, where this is the frequency of occurrence of the ith irreducible representation. H is the order of the point group. Okay, then your GR, this is the order of the class under R operation. This is the character of the irreducible representation in that class, and this is the character of the reducible representation in that class. Okay, so the reduction formula is useful for only finite classes. Finite classes means if you are talking about the point group like C infinity V, D infinity H, then there is other method of doing the calculation. Generally in the exam you will get only the finite classes, so we are going to stick to this one only. Now let me give you an example and what all these means, how to substitute them. Let me teach you. So we are going to, I am giving you already a character table along with its a reducible representation. This reducible representation anyways you are going to calculate and get it yourself. But right now since you don't know, so I am going to provide you with this, and then resultant you are going to do the calculation. So first let's do a simple example. This is a C2V point group. Now we know for a C2V point group, what is the order? Order is 4. Okay. So with respect to C2V, let me write its character table for you. C2V Z, sigma xz and sigma yz. So for this Mulliken symbol A1, A2, B1 and B2. This obviously this is 1. This is 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1, minus 1 and 1, minus 1, minus 1. Okay, now this one I am providing you reducible representation. This is the first example and this is a second example for a second molecule, any molecule. Right now I am not providing you with the molecule, just directly the answer. Okay, so first calculate this for using the reduction formula and then for this. Okay, so let's do it for the first one, the first one. Now what you have written is AI. So we know in C2V character table what all are these things and what all are the Mulliken symbols. So with respect to each Mulliken symbol we are going to do the calculation. So the first Mulliken symbol is A1. So you are going to write in the formula AA1, which is equivalent to, you had a formula 1 upon H. H is the order, here order is 4. How order is 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you remember that. Okay, so order is 4. Then what all we have to multiply? There was a summation of, first is GR, that is the number of operations in the class. Okay, so what we are going to multiply it with? How many operations are there? For under A1, for E, the first operation, how many are there? That is only one. One E is there. There is no other coefficient here in front of it. So it is only 1. So we are going to write 1 multiply by what it is multiplying with according to the formula. According to the formula, the other one is the character of the rth operation in irreducible representation. Right? So what happens? We are going to multiply with irreducible representation, that is 1. So the first one, then again multiply it with 1 and then multiply it with